This is unbelievable. This is just like Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw going at it.
Oh, of course it is.
They're just trying to top each other with the hot chicks on local TV here in New York. Do we even know why she's on
Why
TV?
she's on there? Who is she?
She's trying to look serious.
Where did
right
she
now.
come from?
She's talking about TV, I guess. I don't know.
There's someone on the phone.
We'll have to get the audio.
Yeah, figure it out. Figure out who she is.
We got
newest, hottest girl in the news.
Let's say hi to Mike Rowe. We can't get enough of local TV.
God bless you.
We're obsessed with local TV and how stupid it has become.
Can't watch enough of it. Can't make fun of it enough.
Local news, nothing like it. That's where I came from. Well, I didn't come from it, but I worked for a local news station.
Did you?
San Francisco. Dreadful, yeah.
San Francisco, local news.
It's all the same, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what town you're in. Turn on the local news. There it is. Same girl. Well, not that girl, but it's the same guy, same makeup, same suit, same story, same well-modulated baritone.
Well, you have the voice for it.
You got the crazy
my
voice.
friend.
Don't hold it against me.
You got the voice. You do radio ever? Or?
I tried it. Years ago. I wasn't very good.
No?
It was okay. I just, it was perplexing, and...
Tell me about it.
It's just baffling, you guys are in the Plaza Suite here.
This is pretty nice digs.
Yeah, nice people sitting around. I'm sitting on a red leather couch. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like lips.
Oh.
We hate it.
Well, I'm sitting on lips then.
David Lee Roth ordered them when he was working here.
Oh, he'll do that.
Yeah, for the week he was here.
That was a heck of a run, wasn't it?
Yeah. Boozy bop, diddy bye, Dave, leave.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Can you Bozy Bop out of here, please?
Yeah, Bozy Bop out the door.
The cleaning crew is...
That's not a word.
We're about to clean up. Right.
Now, you hosting Shark Week.
It's true.
Yeah, that's good. We love Shark Week. It's taken off. I remember like the first one.
19 years ago.
This is the best show ever.
This is, I didn't know this either. When I got the call, I thought they were kidding because, if you've seen Dirty Jobs, I'm not the likeliest candidate to entrust with the longest-running franchise in cable television. But they convinced me they were serious, so we said, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
What does it take to host? Do you have to get yourself into some dangerous situations?
I guess, it's, the whole danger thing is as bad as the local news. It gets trumped up to a place where most of the time you need to look at it, with one eye sort of shut and... a smirk on your face. But the truth is, that thing scared the hell out of me for about a month straight. And we were in Cape Town. We were in cages with great whites. We were off the coast of Bimini without a cage.
I was going to ask.
Shark suit.
Did the whole cage thing. And
listen, I spend a fair amount of my average day scared of something. And I'm not shy about admitting it. And I was perpetually and consistently horrified for about a month, and in the end, you learn a little something, you have a few laughs, and you get a new perspective on sharks.
Once you make it through, it seems like it was really cool.
It's one of the things when you're
doing it.
You cross it off the list, and you go, how about that? I got bit by a shark. I'll never do that again.
Did one nail you?
Oh, yeah. Dozens, actually.
Jesus.
Dozens. I met a complete lunatic and a great guy called Jeremiah Sullivan who invented this shark suit about 30 years ago. It's basically a suit of armor.
Right. Chain link almost.
Chain link. But it's more like hosiery. It's so, it's so flexible. So picture 400,000 of these tiny little stainless steel rings, all individually TIG welded overseas by very meticulous people. Wow. And you put the thing on, you look like Sir Galahad on a bender.
Chainmail.
And the job, on Dirty Jobs, you go do a job as best you can and see what happens. That was the same sensibility for Shark Week, but the gig was go make the shark suit and then watch as Jeremy tests it. But, of course, that was completely nonsense. You put the suit on, Mike. You go test it. So, we basically go off the back of a boat. We create a chum slick first, so we've got about 3 dozen 12-foot reef sharks. And I'm not even kidding, man. These are gray with the big teeth, and they're just frothing at the water.
12 feet.
12 feet long, 10 feet long. They go crazy. We put on the suit. We jump in the middle of them, and we sink to the bottom of the ocean. And we've got a chum bucket down there, and we basically move the frenzy from the surface to the floor. And then we let them bite us, and it's just, it's mad. It's crazy. I got cameramen around me. They're looking at me, shaking their head. I'm looking at Jeremiah. And he's not looking back because his head's where his ass was. He's upside down, being dragged across the ocean floor and shook like a tug toy. And
yeah, now the chainmail would protect against punctures.
Yeah.
But you're still getting the pressure of a bite.
Yeah.
Which I hear is pretty
impressive.
strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, they shake.
Sure they do.
And they pull you around, so you're still getting the ride of the shark bite.
And even then, it's still half-hearted. I mean, if these things really, truly wanted to tear you to pieces, they could, and they would. They really don't. You know, sharks are curious.
They're
and they
playing with you.
Well, they investigate with their teeth, unfortunately. And they don't have the opposable thumb thing, so all they have to do is just kind of touch you with their mouth, and, you know...
They realize that...
Unfortunately, that's also the business end, so...
That's the business.
Well, they realize that you're not good eats.
No.
And they let go.
No, especially wrapped in steel. I mean, it's all put
yeah.
You know, you ever bite into aluminum? I mean, it's got to be like twice as bad as that.
That would be hysterical if the shark felt the same thing. Like, ow, damn it.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Just trying to swimming away going, my filling.
That goes to the
You're not
shark dentist.
Wait, you can't test that with a great white, right? You can't let a great white bite your arm like that.
Jeremiah's working on what I can only imagine is like a 12th century suit of armor to do that very thing. But like I said, he's crazy, and I don't think he can do it. No, I think it'd be a terribly ill-advised mistake.
What are the rumors that if a great white's attacking, a newspaper across the nose will actually stop it?
Newspaper?
That's actually true. That's been proven many times. So should you find yourself in that situation...
With a newspaper?
Yeah, rolled up post.
Reading the Times down here on the reef.
Sure. Just headbutt the great white. You'll be fine.
Yeah. That way he can bite your head off and end it quickly and not have to be bleeding to death from a leg wound.
You ever see that footage of the woman that gets bitten and then they pull her out and you can see... that's the worst footage ever taken.
Oh, where they pull her out into that boat and her leg is just
gone.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah, and the blood is just pouring out of her.
See, here's the thing, man. I mean, I've seen that, and last year there were 9 fatalities, maybe 250 attacks. 3 times as many people died from ostriches.
Ostriches.
And I wrangled ostriches, and you know I can see how it's true, but you know there's no ostrich week. The ostrich isn't getting pressed.
Not very scary.
200 people died from toasters.
We found out that in the United States alone, more people died from vending machines falling on them than sharks.
Trying to get
but
the change out.
There isn't any vending machine week. Yeah, just trying to tip the thing out or something, and it fell on them and killed them.
Man.
Well, a vending machine never chased anyone and then ripped its leg off.
Yeah, perhaps there would be.
If a tab machine ripped your arm off, there'd be a tab machine week.
And you can see the vending machine. I mean, that's really the thing.
Yeah, true. You can see it coming.
It's just sitting there, kind of inert, you know.
You really have to taunt a vending machine for it to hurt you.
To get some action. Hey, you also narrate World's Deadliest Catch?
That's true.
God, you got like 3 of the coolest shows on TV.
I do, yeah. Yeah, on the same doggone channel, too. Go figure.
Dirtiest Job. I love World Worst Deadly. What's the name of the show again?
Deadliest, Worst, Awful...
Disastrous Catch.
Yeah, it's a nightmare to TiVo, but it's a good show.
Anthony turned me on. World's Deadliest Catch. Anthony turned me on to this show. I can't get enough of it.
I never thought crabbing would be interesting to watch on television. You just never knew what went behind it and how dangerous this job is.
No, it's beyond insane. I mean, if you read the actuarial tables, which a friend of mine sent me before I went up to Dutch Harbor, I actually hosted the first season. I'll get back to it in a second if you find it at all interesting. But really what happened, the network called and said, hey, we're going to do a story on these crabbers. And my folks are fishermen, you know, so I figured, I know a little bit about it. Where are we going to go? You know, maybe we'll go down to South Carolina. Maybe we'll go to Chesapeake Bay in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, dude, we're going to Dutch Harbor, Alaska, Bering Sea, dead of winter. And I'm like, that sounds dangerous. So I get this actuarial chart, and I swear to God, the injury rate on the crab fleet for an average season is 100%. If you're on a crab boat and you're fishing for a season, you're going to get hurt.
In some way, shape, or form.
The catastrophic injury rate is 12%. That means there's a 1 in 10 chance, a finger, a crushed pelvis, you know, something that puts you in a hospital.
What is it, the mechanisms in the water or something? Grab your hand as you're holding it?
It's probably a variety of things. There's so much equipment, frozen equipment, swinging around the deck that these guys have to know where everything is at every moment. Huge pots, these cages that they lower into the water and then pull back up, and hopefully for them it's full of crabs. But as they're doing it, one's coming up after another, and it's another guy's job to dump it, and guys are taking and making sure that there are keepers, and the small ones have to be thrown back. All this is happening at once in a frozen environment where it would be dangerous if you were just walking down a sidewalk with that type of ice. These guys, the boats are just flying all over the place.
A crab pot weighs 800 pounds.
800 pounds.
Every edge of it is sharp. It's sliding across a frozen deck. There are 30 like it on deck. The winds are blowing 40 knots. The seas are 15, 20 feet. You haven't slept in 5 days.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You ask yourself, who are the people that do this? And the only thing I could find by watching the show is lunatics. Complete crazy people.
You got people who have no idea what they're signing on for, and you have people who have been doing it 30 years. The ones in the middle wash out. But the final thing on the actuarial chart is the mortality rate, which is 1 a week. Now, I completely dismissed all this, right? I was there 6 weeks, a year and a half ago. 6 guys died.
Mm-hmm.
That
ship went down.
I saw 3 catastrophic injuries. And, it's the truth, man.
Guys on your ship died, or like over the whole?
There are 148 boats in the fleet that year. One of the boats went down. 5 guys on that boat died, and while the rescue was going on, a guy got washed over a boat not far. And if you fall in that water up there, you've got 2 minutes, maybe.
They had footage of the captain talking, which was really, creepy.
It's just, it was just bad.
What catastrophic injuries did you see?
I turned my ankle on a step in a hotel. For me, have you ever...
That's catastrophic,
I slipped on some of my money one time.
When the side of the coffee table hits your shin and you're getting water?
That'll hurt. That'll hurt.
What did you see?
One time I was eating king crab, and those are sharp, and I cut my hand.
Did you get the spice?
And the lemon got in there. And it was catastrophic.
I was at a crab restaurant, and they gave me back my black American Express card, and that's made of platinum. And that's what
asses.
No, what did you see on the boat? Like people getting hurt?
The first night I was there, a crab pot came untethered, slid across the deck, and crushed a guy's pelvis. Coast Guard Jayhawk came and plucked him off at about 2.
Take him off the boat.
800-pound crab pot into your hug?
Oh. Yeah.
That's got to hurt.
Awful.
Yeah. Honestly, it is so... it takes a while to get your head around it. But the reason it's such interesting TV, aside from the human stories, it's just that basic conceal and reveal. What's in the pot, And they're pulling up the pot, and maybe there's crab, maybe there's not. How excited can
sometimes
it be?
You find yourself interested in, are they going to get crabs?
Sometimes I guess bear, by the way. I guess bear. You never know.
You don't know what's under that water.
You don't know.
Could be a big, vicious bear in there.
Pull it up, it's a tranny. They're going to throw it back. Hi, Daddy, I'm cold. Get back in there.
Bear week.
You do really, because the people... you watch the show and you realize the people are a little crazy, but they're such personalities. They have such... You're not going to find a boring guy on one of these boats. They all have these strange, weird personalities that... you kind of root for a ship to pull in a lot of crab, and when you see the captain, using whatever knowledge he has, trying to lay down the pots where he thinks there's going to be crab, and then it comes time where they're pulling up. And I wanted to hit myself that I was so interested in if these guys were going to pull up pots full of crabs.
Yeah, well, a lot of for me, after being up there 6 weeks, that's when I really started to think about dirty jobs, this other thing that kind of evolved. And, there's so many people in the country who are willing to do stuff that most of us, really never even consider. And what's interesting about the crab fishing guys is, right boat, right captain, and a little bit of luck, you can make 40, 50 grand in a week.
Wow.
Right? Now, that's changing because Congress has passed something called the Crab Rationalization Act, which is changing the essential way fishing is allowed to happen. But for a long, long time, that was the Wild West.
Oh, would you take a pay cut like that to go crabbing?
No.
I have a shellfish allergy, so I'm pretty much out of that.
It will make crabs cheaper for you and I, though. We're the ones that actually suffer in the end.
We're the ones that suffer.
Think about it, really. The prices for king crab,
come on,
just a little too ridiculous.
The price is very high. And I don't mean the human toll.
Are these
I
guys
just mean money-wise.
Are these guys' lives really that important? Come on. What else were they going to do anyway? They were on their last leg.
Man.
They've lost 10 jobs, 3 wives. They're alcoholics.
Yeah, you do kind of describe a few of them.
Right, well.
It's true.
And because of that, I got to pay what for a lousy king crab?
Why are they so hard to catch? The dirty jobs. Now, I've seen a couple of these where,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're paying you, but it's not enough.
Hundreds of dollars.
I think we should tell Mike.
In the tens of dollars.
I know we're hanging out with a real man here, but I gotta tell Mike, Anthony, germaphobe.
Oh.
No, don't. Everyone gets that wrong.
What do you call it? Jimmy and I call it a germaphobe.
Disgusting-a-phobe. Like, I don't care about germs. Someone sneezes in the room, I'm not going to go crazy. It's disgusting, sticky.
What about the straw that was left on your little counter there?
I don't know whose that was. It had nothing to do with germs. It was disgusting. It was like spittle.
Mike Rowe.
There was a bit of spittle on it.
Mike Rowe laughs at you. You screamed and yelled, and we had to have like some kind of hazmat team come in and remove it.
Right. I needed some Lysol spray. Right. Disgusting things disgust me. And with dirty jobs, you are in a lot of disgusting situations. I saw a trailer for one of the shows. I didn't even understand what you had to do.
Yeah.
And I was disgusted. It was something with the bones.
Oh, man.
And I think I saw a pig head.
Sure. A bison head.
A bison head.
Yeah.
And the smell, the faces you make interpret the smell perfectly.
Sadly, the medium in question has not perfected smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
So if it had, we would never have made it on the air. The things I have smelled, honestly.
Yeah, you could just tell it reeks. What was this?
That place was in Oklahoma City called Skulls International. And this place, now look, it's funny you mention that one because we've done over 100, and there have only been a couple that have come back from the network that's like, look, I mean, thanks for trying. But
oh, really?
No, and we kind of fixed it to get it on the air the way you saw it, but originally, I'll tell you what, every morning at Skulls International is beyond shocking. UPS comes, they deliver dozens of boxes, and in the boxes are heads of any imaginable creature. And what these guys do is they unpack the severed heads and they flens them. They take the flesh off and they prepare the skulls. People, universities, hospitals, museums, all kinds of places need fully articulated skulls. Fully articulated creatures, in fact. In many cases, they'll send the whole bear. They'll send the whole dog. People want their pets turned into skeletons after they've died, you know. And I don't know why this is, but there is some odd aftermarket out there. Anyway, these guys do the work. And they're not ghouls, but, man, I'll tell you.
There's got to be a little ghoulish element in there.
We've all smelled interesting things just driving down the highway from time to time and wondered,
the whiff.
What is that? Is it a paper plant? Is it a treatment plant? Well, in Oklahoma, if the wind's right and you turn off the interstate just so, you're hit with a funk that would literally... it just changes the way you look at the world, and it's Skulls International.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's that bad.
So that rotted carcass smell is like throughout the entire building.
Smell of death.
It's throughout about 5 square blocks. Yeah, they have their own septic system. They have their own everything because they can't tap into anything municipal. But
so what do the guys do to get by?
You mean for like money?
No, I mean as far as masking the smell, I guess.
Not one thing.
Really?
Thing. No, and this is what Anthony...
Because we've heard all those tricks about what do the crime scene guys do?
Yeah, Vicks under the nose.
Or all that crap. Yeah, they don't do any of that.
Nothing.
They laugh at those guys.
Listen, the human capacity to adapt to whatever hell you're in is truly endless. Sure. And, you know, there are a lot of lessons from dirty jobs, but for me personally, having done 106 of them, you know, that's not the world I came from. You know, that's just the world I'm in for the time being.
Well, that's why it's interesting, because you're taking somebody that doesn't do it, throwing you into a situation like that. These guys are used to it. They don't think twice about walking into it. It's another day at work.
Another day at work.
But you take somebody that isn't used to it, they can really convey how disgusting some of these jobs are.
And we got to stop right there. We're really late. We got Mike Rowe. You're going to continue with us, right?
No, I feel as though I've screwed up somehow.
No, you're giving us great radio. Right. Bob Saget's going to call in for a quickie because we got to do a make good with Boston today. But Mike Rowe, Shark Week starts next week on the Discovery Channel at 9 p.m. We'll continue with Mike in just a bit. It's the One virus spreading across America.
Hi, I I just got wowed. It was great. I'm not supposed to talk about it, though. I gotta go now.
Introducing the Opie and Anthony Wow line. If you get wowed, we want to hear about it. Call 866-WOW-ME-05. That's 866-WOW-ME-05. And tell us all about it. And if your message isn't too stupid, we might just play it on the air.
Opie and Anthony!
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Swallow, sorry. Mike Rowe in studio doing a great job for us. Don't forget, Shark Week starts next week on the Discovery Channel at 9 p.m.
One of the best weeks in television, man.
Oh, yeah.
It really is a lot of fun.
Everyone loves sharks.
Bob Saget checking in really fast. Bob.
Hey.
Hi, Bob.
We talked to Bob Saget on our XM show for about a half hour yesterday. You killed for us, Bob.
Well, you're great, guys. I'm sorry I missed yesterday morning. I was watching the Discovery Channel.
Good man.
There he goes.
He says all the right things.
I get that show. I re-edit it. I play the theme from the Discovery Channel, and if that doesn't get you off, nothing will.
You were supposed to call in with a special deal for Boston.
Yeah, there were some tickets. I'm going to do it again. I got one more offer because, we got a big show coming up that I'm going to be on your thing.
Yeah.
Good. All my friends are on that thing. Tracy Morgan and Ralphie May and Bill Burr and all those guys. What is it? The DCU Center in Worcester?
Yeah, week from Saturday, August 5th.
Well, my deal is like an additional 500 tickets in honor of your call letters at $10.41 a ticket. I haven't seen that kind of a sale since kindergarten. And I am personally going to take money out of my pocket to make up the difference in the ticket price. Whoops, can't find the money. But anyway,
I think they'll make it up.
they got it. 1041. That's 500 more tickets at that price. How much time do they have to fulfill that kind of a good obligation?
That is a bargain.
Yeah, the tickets go on sale at 9 a.m. for $10.41 for the ONA Traveling Virus at the
Boston.
DCU Center, August 5th. Bob was supposed to do this deal yesterday. We kind of did it yesterday because you overslept, Bob.
I'm working on this Penguin movie in Toronto as a director. I'm just killing myself. This better be funny for all this work, I'll tell you. I got penguin juice coming out of me.
A penguin movie?
Yeah, it's a takeoff on March of the Penguins. It's R-rated, and it's narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, no.
And the stars are me and my girlfriend Christina Applegate in it, and Tracy Morgan, and Louis Black, and Monique. We're the main penguins.
Nice.
And then like 50 stars did me just solid favors and came in, like Dane Cook and Carlos Mencia and just a lot of people. Harvey Firestein, Jason Alexander, Norm Macdonald. Tons of people just did free voiceovers, practically free. You buy them like gummy bears or something.
That's a great idea, by the way.
It's funny. It's a lot of penguin sex. It's like the Discovery Channel if it had Tourette's.
You got a lot of street cred out there to get your friends involved. That's what it is.
It's that I got a lot of stuff on the street and I sold it to them. I had a dealer by the set. No, it's true. I'm very, very appreciative. A lot of people came in. They read the script. I mean, for Sam Jackson to have read the script and then said, "I'll go record it." It's a stoner movie, and nobody's really made one for a long time. So I've been working on it for 9 months, and it's going to rear its ugly head in
Cheech Saget.
a couple of weeks. It's coming out.
When does it come out?
Well, the baby of the birth of the movie, we'll have it done like end of next week physically, and then in a couple months. There's another we have to coordinate now because there's a big movie called Happy Feet, a joyous family one, a computer-generated one from Warner Brothers comes out mid-November. So we have to navigate around that so you don't go take your kids to see an R-rated movie with penguins doing the deed in it.
Oh, by accident, right?
Yeah. And then you think you're going to go see Robin Williams and Nicole Kidman loving each other.
Maybe we can get Penguin Week on Discovery.
Oh, Penguin Week. You know how dangerous those things are?
When penguins attack.
Yeah,
I'll
float it.
Our whole plot point is that Christina Applegate is accidentally in the dark violated by Louis Black. And he accidentally almost invades Damon Wayans, who screams, "Hey, buddy, that's my ass." And then he bumps into Christina, and then it kind of ruins our relationship because I can't believe she was with someone else. In that way as well.
In that penguin way?
Penguins supposedly have one entrance exit. The whole deal is one thing. Which I didn't know that worked. The script is not written that way. Let me put it that way.
Right, you didn't take into consideration biological or anatomical accuracy. Yeah,
that's okay.
I really took some license. We should have had a consultant. I used it as a it's really a room that you would use multi-purpose in your apartment building. That's how it's used. But in our show, it's an exit and an entrance, and then just an all-around fun time.
Fits the story.
All right, sure. Studio.
Hey, Bob, we're running out of time, so
great, guys. I'll be on that date on Worcester, and then next Friday, or what night is it? It's a Saturday, right?
August 26th at PNC Art Center in Jersey.
Cool.
And then September 9th, Tweeter Center in the Philly area, and then September 23rd in Cleveland, the O&A Traveling Virus. All the info is on opieandanthony.com. But you're announcing this special 500 more tickets at $10.41 go on sale at 9 a.m. through Ticketmaster for the Boston show, the DCU Center. Good. August 5th, all right?
Yeah, we'll have fun. We'll kick the roof up. Everybody will laugh. That's what they need to do right now.
All right, Bob, we'll have you on again soon, and we'll go long form with you, all right?
Yeah, I like it long form.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, guys.
All right, it's Bob Saget, everyone.
Bye.
Because we got to get a few more things in with Mike Rowe here. We're learning a lot about you, Mike. Bill has a question here. Bill?
Yeah, I remember hearing something about Mike was involved with the Baltimore Opera.
No, those were the days, Bill. Yeah, I've paid a lot of dues to a lot of dues collectors, and, just trying to figure it all out. Mid-'80s, I couldn't get in SAG, I couldn't get in AFTRA, I couldn't get arrested, but if you join the opera, you got your AGMA card, which is a sister union, and then you can buy your way into the real unions.
Oh, okay.
So I figured, I was singing in saloons at the time, and I thought, well, I'd learn a couple arias and crashed an audition, and they basically hired me. I got my card, and I figured, okay, I'm set. But the truth is, the opera was very cool, and I met a lot of girls and had a really fun time, and got to dress like a pirate for a while. So, looking back, it was an important time for me.
Good time.
I've never heard anyone say that the opera was cool.
No.
Before.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's seriously, people are dressed up in the craziest costumes, screaming at the top of their lungs. You're 23, 24 years old, and all the girls are graduate students from Peabody, and whatever. It's showbiz, right?
Well,
Can you still sing opera? Can you still sing opera?
Opera always did a really great show anyway with that projecting the libretto above it so you could tell what people were singing.
I'd imagine that the Baltimore Opera is like the minor leagues of opera, though.
Well, it's just up the road from the National Opera. So, D.C., Baltimore, it's not a bad company. They've been around, 40, 50 years.
Can you give us a little something?
Vecchiasimara senti il resto pianto scendere sacriamontio devi.
I don't even know what it means, but now imagine me dressed like a gladiator doing that.
Well,
I am.
That's Shark Week.
Yeah.
Jimmy sings a little opera too, but he might be a little too shy today. I don't know.
Come on, Jimmy, hit me.
That blew my throat out.
He's a little shy, but he does do opera too. You want to give Mike just a little?
I'm shy.
Come on,
just a little, Jimmy. Mike Rowe, Shark Week, Discovery Channel next week. He's here.
Yeah.
It takes more muscles to frown at the smile. Tragic.
Wow, it's a tragedy.
A boy with a sweet disposition, physical deformation.
You got to hear Frank the Frowner. That's Frank the Frowner.
Turn that frown upside down, man.
He pops into our show from time to time.
What a chick magnet that must be, for lack of a faggier 1981 term. But I mean, that's to be able to do that. It's like no straight guys can do that.
Those
that's
were good times.
He's had a few jobs though. I mean, the home shopping, was it?
Sure. Yeah. No, I sold stuff in the middle of the night from 1989 to 1992 on QVC. That was right after the opera. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was. I don't know how you guys got into the business, but all I knew for sure in the mid '80s was I didn't want to sit behind a desk or sit in traffic. And somehow or other, there must be a way to figure the TV thing out. This is a crooked road, home shopping, opera, commercials. I was the Tylenol guy for like 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Take comfort in our strength, right?
That's it.
Trust me. Anyway, I mean, whatever. Next thing you know, people are actually watching you and paying you to crawl through a sewer and meet people who do it for a living, and now you got your own show. And
I got to ask the hack question.
Yeah.
Dirtiest job you did for the show?
There's a thing called a lift pump. A lift pump is the last hands-on thing that works in a wastewater treatment plant. Everything else is mechanized. A lift pump weighs 4.5 tons, and it resides at the bottom of a 5-story shaft. When it breaks, the shaft above it fills with the most unspeakable sewage you can envision. When that happens, a man in a suit, and I don't mean like a nice suit, a man in a hazmat suit has to go through a series of airtight doors, walk through hell, and take a cable and attach it to the top of the broken pump so it can be winched out of the shaft. The sound that a 4.5-ton lift pump makes when it breaks the seal of poo that's been holding it to the floor will haunt your dream. It's a bad one.
You're like the perfect voiceover guy. You got that voiceover voice.
You know, if there's a wildebeest trying to make it across the Serengeti but being slowly eaten by crocodiles and hyenas, the odds are good. I'm telling you about it. And it never works out for the wildebeest, by the way.
No, never. Hey, did you do the Mate the Horses job yet?
I did, yes.
For dirty jobs?
Oh, yeah. I've violated virtually every farm animal on the planet. I have artificially inseminated cows, pigs, turkeys, horses.
I had a friend when I was going to school in the Rochester area, Geneseo, actually, south of Rochester, and that was his job.
Sure.
To get through school, and he would leave for work on weekends, hungover as you-know-what, and with like a rain slicker on.
Farm fluffer. Yeah, it's a heck of a thing.
Farm fluffer.
Rain slicker.
Yeah.
His whole job was to, make sure the job was done.
Get the sample.
Right. And they're not very neat when it comes to the...
hence the jacket.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Horses will never tell you when.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's not a lot of romance, really, in the barnyard. But it's really important. I mean, honestly, most breeding today is done with the help of some guy, you know, with you know what I'm saying.
With the rain slicker on.
Artificially.
Let's go to...
Why is that, though? They don't want them injuring themselves?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a $9 million quarter horse, you know, doing it the way God intended, and it's awkward.
I was raised around horses, and I've seen it done the natural way, and it is vicious.
Seared in your retina for all time.
It is really vicious. There was this horse called Concho Pete. Concho Pete was the stallion around the stable, and it was being mated with this Appaloosa named Duchess Day. And they brought Concho Pete in, and Duchess Day was in season. And Concho Pete got so worked up that I swear you can't even describe what it looked like.
Yeah.
And he jumped up onto Duchess Day, and his front hooves just completely cut up her shoulders.
Sure, right to the bone.
Like really brutal.
Yeah.
Just brutal. And hot.
Yeah. You ever see that footage from the Seattle farm? That guy learning a lesson? Wow. That little rascally horse. As soon as the hands moved out of the way, that little fella scampered as he should have.
I'd hate to be him having to go to the pearly gates with that little story of what killed you.
Yeah, on your face on a gurney, playing to St. Peter with a silly goose jar.
Hey, a couple quick phone calls before we get out of here. Yeah. Second half of the show, we'll start on XM in about 5-10 minutes. Tony in Boston, what's up?
Hey, Mike. Love you on Dirty Jobs. Great show. Can't wait to see you on Shark Week. Tell you what, man. Last night, I think it was the pest control in Louisiana, VexCon, I think it was.
Good times.
Can you? I tell you what, man. I can take almost anything, but this is probably the most haunting thing that I've ever seen. That someone would actually live in conditions on it like this. Can you? Touch and tell the story on that, as well as the passion behind the VexCon. The lead guy there, can you touch on that a little bit?
Sure. Bill Bretherton is the most unorthodox exterminator on the planet. I met him in northern Louisiana outside of Shreveport a couple years ago. He and his wife, Mary, dress in black from top to bottom, wear skull and crossbones, and have essentially waged a holy war against all living vexations. If it crawls or stings or bites, Bill hates it, and he's sworn to kill it. So in northern Louisiana, I mean, this is a heck of a thing. He took me to a trailer park, had a roach problem. And just to show me basically how the extermination business is different from state to state and place to place. And this really is all-out war. This is pre-Katrina. This is, a couple years ago. But we walked into a trailer. And, look, I'm not given to exaggeration or a hyperbole, but I'm not even kidding, man. I thought I was looking at a moving wallpaper pattern. There were between 700,000 and 1 million roaches in one trailer, and it wasn't even the worst trailer. And Bill and I and his wife Mary, sweet little thing, spent 4.5 hours with abumectin and all these toxins trying to clean this place up. And I mean, it was disturbing. It was. It's just hard to get your head around it. You open up a drawer. I mean, this is you know, living in New York. I know you guys have seen a roach, Anthony. It must have been traumatic for you.
See, it was.
But
truly.
you know, you see one, you see two, and you go, okay, we got a problem. You see 3 or 4, you go, we got an infestation.
Yeah.
You see 600,000, does not compute.
Yeah, you just can't even figure it out.
Nope.
Talk about the heebie-jeebies.
Oh yeah.
With that, the first half of the show's over. We're really late. They're probably cutting the show off. If you want, you can continue with us on XM. I don't know how busy you are, but
I'd love to. I got a publicist. Let's see what she says.
All right, it's up to you. You've been a great guest. We'd love to have you back, Mike. It's Mike Rowe. Shark Week starts on the Discovery Channel next week at 9 p.m. We got to get out of here. We'll continue on XM Satellite Radio. Thanks for checking us out today on this fine Whip 'em Out Wednesday.